That's absolutely it. We're saying you better be realistic. Is that realistic? You think that's possible? We hear that a lot of times when we share our ideas with people as we get older and older. You know, as kids, we could share our ideas with our peers, and they would root us on, especially if we're like 4 and 5. I want to be superhero. I'm superhero.
Well, most of the times they're like, yeah, jump off the roof.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's always,
But the older people get, the more cautionary they become. They're like, be careful. I saw a friend of mine on Facebook. He posted that he was somewhere. He was like on the beach, or somewhere fun, And then I saw one person in the comment was like, be careful. And like, why do we always say be careful? It's because we're fearful.
Mm.
We're fearful of doing something that's different than the path that was carved out by the masses. We're afraid of looking differently than the masses. We're afraid of thinking something different than the masses. And so like entrepreneurship, every day I have to be naive enough to believe that somebody wants what I have to offer. I have to be just sold on the idea that I can get up and make however much money I want to make for today. And however much money I want to make is based off the limits that I've put on myself. And so that's a thing, man. We have to be able to stretch beyond our current level of thinking. And the hard part is we think that the way we're thinking is just the way things are.
Right.
So to get outside of that is like, it takes a level of awareness, and just that's why most people don't change until something drastic happens, like a car crash, or the doctor walks in and say, hey, if you don't stop smoking, one more cigarette will kill you. Mm-hmm. Some people don't even change then, Right. I know doctors that smoke. You know what I mean? So, but one thing I was with Ricky this weekend. Ricky was taking wedding photos, and I looked at my waistline and I was like, I'm not happy with that. And I'm like, I'm going to do something about it. So immediately that next morning, I couldn't sleep for thinking about it. Not that I'm obsessed with the way I look, but I knew that I could do more.
Well, you probably thought you were going to have to spend thousands of dollars in shirts because all the shirts are already tight.
Yeah. But, I was like, if I'm happy with it, I'm happy with it. If I'm not, I'm not. Right. And so, like, the things that I can change that I'm not happy with, I want to change those things, I know how it feels to make a good amount of money. And it's good to say, it's easy to look around and see that you're doing better than, 90% of the people
Right.
And think that you got it going on. But there's always somebody that's crushing you.
Right. Go spend the weekend at the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've noticed that, like you go to the Ritz-Carlton and you're like, what, $500 a night? And then you're like, go to eat dinner and you get a steak and it's $70. And,
yeah.
Especially if somebody goes with you and they're like, $70 for a steak. And you're like, yeah, and it's out there, and you almost have to force yourself to be in those situations so that you spend that type of money and then see that you lived after it.
Oh, man, you just gave me chills for that.
We took 12 people to Disney dinner for my daughter's birthday.
Wow.
And it was about $60 for the parents, and it was like $40, and then you have to tip on top of that. And the guy leans over to me and goes, man, that's a huge bill. And I was like, yeah, now I know I can do it again. And he's like, what? And I said, yeah, I know I can do it again. Based on results, I had the money. I had a great time. Mm-hmm. My daughter had a great time. Everybody who was there had a great time. Why would I not want to do that again?
I know.